Yeah. That part. Uh-huh. What we doing? That part. My mic sounds nice. Check 1 2 1 2. That part. L.O.T.S Approved Media. We live. We live. You heard me? Uh-huh. Yeah, it feel good. I'm in my element. You heard me? A lot to speak about today. You guys do me a favor. As soon as you come in the building, hit that like button. That part. You guys, make sure you guys leave a comment in the comment section. You know how we do. Leave your fingerprint. We call that leaving your fingerprint. Let's make this a memorable night. Let's make this one to remember. This one's for the books, you heard me? L.O.T.S Approved Media, DSTM, Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. You guys, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I haven't been on a minute. Nonetheless, you know, I'm well rested. You heard me? A lot's been going on in the internet streets that obviously we have to address, but nonetheless, I'm feeling good and I'm happy to be here with you guys, ultimately. Let's go ahead and give the intro. I am the incomparable, the author imitated but cannot be duplicated, the one they took their style from, the elected, the appointed voice of the streets. I go by the name of L.O.T.S Approved. You guys, that's an acronym. All right, that stands for the Lord of the Streets, leader of the streets, learn off the streets, living off the streets. When I say living off the streets, I'm referring to eating off the land. We are hustlers, so we eat what we kill here. That part. Let's make that clear. Hold up. That part. This is powered by L.O.T.S Approved Media. I want to welcome everybody to the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast, episode number 122. Let's be clear. That part. You guys, do me a favor. Let's not wait for the middle or the end of this video. Let's come together as a collective. I need everybody to hit that like button. All right. On the count of 3, I know it's kind of tedious, but this is what helps us to compete with the bigger channels. This is a smaller channel. Let's be clear, right? But we put out the same amount of content as the bigger channels, but we want to be able to compete with them. So on the count of 3, all together. 1, 2, come on. 3, tap that like button for me. You guys just made YouTube take this content, push it forward, and recommend it to the audience. Once again, thank you guys in advance. You guys, this is the most dangerous podcast on God's green earth. Welcome to episode number 122. That part. All right, and we have a lot to speak about today. Also, keep in mind, the comment section. This is where you guys get engagement at, all right? Let's go ahead and enjoy the comment section and leave a comment in the comment section. Let people know you're in the building. Also, you guys have people that love you, your loved ones. Let's take this content and share it with our loved ones. All right, let's get the content out there. I'm happy to be back. We've had a lot of interviews in the past, some great interviews. And I'm looking forward to keeping it up. A few more interviews in the near future. Nonetheless, you guys, I'm here to rock with you guys. Once again, this is the most dangerous podcast on God's green earth, one of the greatest shows on God's green earth. That part. That part. We definitely gonna speak about Tory Lanez. All right. Tory Lanez stabbed 14 times. You heard correct, 14 times. 2 in the back of the head. 1 in his jaw. 2 in the back of the head, 1 in the jaw. Also suffered from 2 lungs collapsing. Tory Lanez was in critical condition. He had to be flown out from the California prison system facility. I'm not sure what facility he's at right now. Nonetheless, prayers out to Tory. I heard that he is recovering. I pray that he has a speedy recovery. And there's a lot to say about this. People are in an uproar. There's an urgency that lies there for Tory's urgent release, pardon, if you may. They're trying to get the California governor involved to have Tory get pardoned, right? Because basically his life is in danger. We're definitely gonna speak about Tory Lanez. Once again, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you guys are new viewers, you guys should this is a safe place right here. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Get used to the content. I'm the new kid on the block, so I love all the support here, and it's needed. Like I said, enjoy the channel. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you're a recurring viewer, you should be ashamed of yourself if you're not subscribed at this moment. I think you should take the opportunity to subscribe right now. All right. Thank you in advance. Now, also, we're not just going to speak about Tory Lanez. We got to speak about this whole Cassie and Diddy. Big Cassie and Diddy. And we'll talk about Benzino and 50. We'll speak about that. Even that's a little bit kind of late on that, but we'll speak on that. I actually spoke to Benzino the other day. Supposed to come on the platform. All right. And you guys, I don't like to tell you guys this type of thing, because when you want somebody on the platform and they don't show up, it kind of falls on my behalf. And I do apologize. That's why I don't pre-tell you guys who's supposed to come on the platform. All right. So now you guys understand the reason why. I don't want to get caught with the pie in my face, so to speak. Hold up. That part. Ay, ay, ay. Now, Cassie and Diddy, weird details, a lot of crazy details with Diddy and Cassie. You guys know this is the part that we was waiting for. This is the part that everybody was waiting for. We wanted to hear the actual escapades. You heard me? Not so much in pure detail, but we definitely wanted to hear some of the details, right? It's just not so graphic. It's one of those things you want to kind of look with half an eye. You don't want to look at it fully, right? Nonetheless, Cassie and Diddy, there's some disturbing things, some cringing things with Cassie and Diddy, some weird escapades, the freak-offs. We're speaking about the freak-offs right now. You guys be sure to go ahead and hit the like button. You guys are listening to the most dangerous podcast on God's green earth. This is L.O.T.S approved. All right? Lord of the streets. I'm here for you guys. That part. Subscribe to the channel. Turn your notification bells on. Nonetheless, Cassie and Diddy. We'll get to that. First, let's start off with Tory Lanez. I know you guys have been seeing what's going on with Tory Lanez. Once again, prayers go out to Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez, a lot of people speaking on Tory Lanez's behalf. Mainly his father gave a phenomenal, exceptional, eloquent speech on behalf of his son. And basically on behalf of humanity also. And some people may beg to differ, but we can speak about that. All right. Representatives. Kelsey, bodyguard, showing up. He finally appeared. He stuck his head out of the hole in the ground. All right. Kelsey's bodyguard is giving testimony, saying that he witnessed with his own two eyes. I would believe Kelsey actually firing at Megan Thee Stallion. Kelsey with the firearm in her hand. According to this gentleman, released 3 shots, shot 3 times, in which Tory was there and Tory slapped Kelsey's hand down. I'm not sure if it was the first. I'm thinking leaning more towards the second. I don't think it lasted to the 3rd shot. And I'm giving Tory credit here, as if, you know what I mean, he tried his best to try to prevent it, right? Nonetheless, Tory slapped down Kelsey's hand, all right, preventing Kelsey from continuing to fire shots at Megan Thee Stallion. So he's saying that the shots came from Megan, from Kelsey. Also, 4 people inside the vehicle, 2 men, 2 women. The bodyguard, Kelsey, also Tory and Meg, right? 4 people. Only 1 DNA test took place. Let's be clear. All right, let's break down the case and some of the inconsistencies that gives credence to this man being having a second chance at justice, right? DNA tests, gunpowder resin. Tory showed positive for gunpowder resin, but not enough to determine that he was the shooter. Tory was the only one that was tested for gunpowder resin. That's a red flag. Somebody's going around protocol, and there's a lot of instances of this in this case with Tory Lanez. And it's being brought to the forefront, obviously. So, also, Tory had somebody came and spoke to somebody on behalf of people are assuming that's Roc Nation, right? Spoke to a witness or spoke to a jury or spoke to somebody. That's another inconsistency inside this case. People having access to judges and counsel and things of that nature that typically doesn't happen. That's not the typical protocol, right? I'm paraphrasing right now because I don't know the legal system. But what I'm just showing you guys is a lot of inconsistencies that happen with Tory's case. Now, people are considering this a conspiracy. Hold up. That part. I'm not a conspiracy theorist here. Let's be clear. All right. They're saying that a lot of this might be contributed to Roc Nation. They're trying to put Jay-Z and Roc Nation in this allegedly, right? They're saying that this was coincidentally, it happened 2 days prior to Kelsey's bodyguard coming out, revealing that he saw Kelsey firing the shots, right? Kelsey with the firearm in her hand. People are saying that this is a conspiracy. They're chalking up to a conspiracy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play two. I'm actually gonna play two things. I want to play the audio, right? I want to actually play the audio of the gentleman that's speaking, of the counsel that's speaking on behalf of Tory Lanez, and I also want to show you guys a picture of the gentleman. All right, this gets even more interesting. We're talking about Tory Lanez right now, you guys. Tory Lanez and the injustice and the second chance at court and him being stabbed 14 times. All right, I'm gonna show you guys a picture of the gentleman, a Mexican brother. Not just a conspiracy, they're saying that's conspiracy, but also people were saying that this was a race war. Keep in mind that Tory Lanez is locked in the prison system in California. Now, I've been locked up before only in the county. By the grace of God, I don't want to go to prison, right? You know, I know that's a right to passage to some street niggas, but I am the Lord Streets, and I ain't been to prison. But I've been in Stockade in Miami County, right? As well as Broward. With that being said, the segregation is not so much. There's not so much segregation. But there's a lot of segregation in California from what I'm hearing, right? Black versus brown and whites. They consider the whites the Peckerwoods. You know what I mean? That part. Armenian, just different nationalities, which they're segregated, right? So race wars are common in California prison systems. So a lot of people are saying that this is just coincidentally a race war, right? In which people are asking why people wasn't holding down Tory Lanez, blase squazy. To be stabbed 14 times, it makes me feel as if Tory was not necessarily prepared. Contrary to what we heard in that rap that he did with DDG, and he spoke about how he locking the sock and Woody Warren calling shots on the yard. We heard Tory calling shots on the yard. Not to say just because you call a shot, you can't catch a bad one. But for some reason, I just feel like Tory was not prepared for this situation. Nonetheless, stabbed 14 times. They're saying that it was a race war. Not just a conspiracy theory as it's a Roc Nation involved, but they're saying race war also. So I don't know what you guys would necessarily lean towards, right? A lot of different speculations. Now, like I said, Tory was in critical condition. I believe he's in stable condition. Tory's father spoke. Tory Lanez's father spoke, had an eloquent speech reminiscent of Martin Luther King. And it might sound like I'm being facetious, but I'm not by no degree, right? Nothing short of a remarkable speech. Now, Tory's father seemed to me a bit long-winded. I felt like the man was long-winded. I kind of was like, after a while, I'm like, damn, is this a clout move? Forgive me. I misjudged it slightly because at first he spoke and I thought he spoke eloquently, but I didn't know he was going to have so much time to speak. Nor did I think he would have something as relevant to say as he did. So credit to him. The speech was amazing, right? Spoke about a lot of different things. At one point, I almost got teary-eyed when he spoke about Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez's father spoke about speaking to his son, in which Tory said that he almost thought he was going to die. And he started reasoning with God, asking God, is basically this is how his life is going to end up, you know, looking at the track record and the timeline of his life. I don't know, just I'm paraphrasing, but at that moment, just hearing the father having to come to grips with his son coming to his own reality of his own demise. This is nothing short of that's intense for a father. A father listening to his son embracing the fact that he was about to die. And he felt like that I can imagine, right? Well, let me say that. Let me rephrase that. Retract that. I cannot imagine. I've never been in that situation, nor do I want to be able to relate to that situation. But nonetheless, God bless Tory Lanez. Nonetheless, the father gave an amazing speech, right? Eloquent speech. Holding a lot of people accountable. Tory Lanez's father held a lot of people accountable. The judicial system, judges, and saying that we all adhere to the Bible. The Bible is superior to the judicial system. The judicial system, it was meant to uphold some of the Bible's ethics, right? And Tory Lanez's father eloquently, articulated that, right? Not so much I was just trying stuttering, but did much better job. Nonetheless, I was impressed. I was impressed, and he said that Tory wanted him to do that. So Tory must have known the power of his father. His father used the word. He spoke with a lot of conviction in his voice. The words, his choice of words, the conviction in his voice, it was resonating with a lot of us, with me and the people at home, across abroad, right? Tory Lanez's father also gave flowers and showed his gratitude for the officers that was assisting Tory. The doctors, the nurses, the hospital, everybody. He showed his gratitude to everybody. One of the most modest things, the way he went about it. Tory Lanez's father is a scholar and a gentleman, very modest. All right. Nonetheless, let's look at this picture, you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button. I want to pull up this picture of this gentleman. We're gonna look at the Mexican guy. You know what I mean? And he looks Mexican. I don't have a racist bone in my body, but I will admit he definitely looks Mexican, and he looks like one of those quintessential Mexican guys. All right. What you guys are looking at is a picture of this gentleman, this Mexican gentleman. There's a crazy backstory on this guy. A crazy backstory on this man. All right. Name of the man responsible for stabbing Tory Lanez 14 times. Okay. Santino Cassio. All right. Thank God for GPT AI. All right. Santino Cassio. Now, you guys want to hear the backstory on this? Let's pull this guy. This scum. That's a scumbag. I had to give it to you. That's a scumbag. Nonetheless, this guy is Mexican. He looks Mexican, right? He looks kind of creepy. If you looked at his demeanor, he kind of looked slightly psychotic. You know what I mean? Though he looked psychotic, he has that look. We as black people, you know, that shit don't mean nothing to us because we're dominant. And we know looks can be deceiving. Nigga will beat that boy. But keep in mind, people do have advantages with weapons and things of that nature, which he did that day. Now, there's a crazy backstory on this guy, Cassio, right? The guy, what he's in prison for. This guy is 42 years old, Mr. Cassio. He's 42 years old. All right. He's in prison for shooting a underage 13-year-old girl in the face. It gets crazier. He was dating the underage girl. So this man shot a 13-year-old girl in her face. May I add, she was a runaway. It gets crazier the way he just took advantage of somebody. This man was 20 years old at the time. All right. Mr. Cassie was 20 years old at the time. So he's in prison for shooting a 13-year-old girl in the face. Now, I don't know what ensued during that time. It was an altercation. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't an altercation, just something psychotic he did out of jealousy. I don't know what took place, but I know the man shot the girl in the face, and subsequently she was unalive because of this, right? The girl, once again, I must reiterate, the girl was 13 years old. Let's be clear. A runaway. He's 20 years old at the time. So this is the caliber of men that Tory Lanez is surrounded with in the prison system. Now, I don't know if he deserved to be around those type of caliber of men, but that's neither here nor there. You know, we in the jungle, concrete jungle, and we know things that typically happen. And when you're playing in the streets, you got to know that potential you might end up in these type of camps. Everything ain't going to be a cakewalk. You go to different facilities, it's just going to be different type of pressure. You heard me? And that's what it looked like it took place. Nonetheless, this gentleman stabbed Tory 14 times once again. I want to play the audio if we can. Let me see if I can pull up this audio. I want to play the actual audio of some people speaking on behalf of Tory Lanez. You guys, make sure you guys take the opportunity to hit the like button right now. This is the most dangerous podcast on God's green earth. We're speaking about Tory Lanez right now. All right? Take the opportunity to hit the like button. We call that wiping your feet on the rug, same way you do at your grandparents' house. When you come to somebody's house, right? You don't embarrass yourself. You wipe your feet on the rug. Why you wipe your feet on the rug? Because you know that if you don't wipe your feet on the rug, you might track some dirt in these people's house. You dirty people's house. Those people get on your ass, and you now embarrassed. And if you embarrass, people complaining, your parents are embarrassed because you're embarrassing them and you represent them. All right? So let's not embarrass the people that raised us, and let's go ahead and hit that like button. All right? Wiping your feet on the rug, that's hitting the like button. That's it. Thank you. Now, once again, I want to play this audio, but it looks like I might have to connect the Bluetooth. Let me see what. Nah, I definitely have to play the audio. Hold on. Let me connect. I got to connect the Bluetooth, and I want to play some of this audio of them speaking about the bodyguard and what his testimony. Right? He gave partial testimony. All right, we connected. Bluetooth connected. Let me go on the gram. Hold on. All right, y'all.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm, Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete.
All right, let's pause right there. All right, you guys see, first of all, when the man speaking about the shooting over the passenger side, shooting fire coming out of the passenger side, rear side, right? That's already an indiscrepancy right there. It didn't come from Tory's side. For one, the bodyguard gave testimony to slapping down the gun, and that's what I was just referring to. And that's what the gentleman's speaking about. So you see, this is all coming out. It's a lot of inconsistencies. It's safe to say you guys know Tory did not shoot Megan Thee Stallion. We all knew that. First of all, that part. We all knew Tory did not shoot Megan Thee Stallion, right? But we just needed somebody that was a witness to clarify things. Now, this guy got missing during the trial, this bodyguard. But according to him, he felt that there was an urgency there now to speak up. I don't know what prompted him. Because if it's a conspiracy theory, they're saying that the reason why they stabbed, this is a conspiracy, in theory, that they stabbed through Roc Nation because they knew that Tory's people was going to come up and speak about this. They knew that the bodyguard was going to come forward. So they try to silence everything, silence Tory, right? Which this is a conspiracy theory. I'm not saying that I subscribe to it. I'm not saying that I agree with the conspiracy theory. But what I can say is a lot of things do make sense. And where there's smoke, there's fire. We have to be honest here, right? There's something with the Roc Nation and Tory. Something's going on there. And we know, like I said, there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah, shots fired from the passenger side. Tory's not responsible for shooting at Megan. Now, it gets a little bit deeper, right? We can look deeper into this. How much of a role did Tory play in Megan being shot? Because Tory's banking on him. Tory's banking on he's not the actual person that shot Megan. But if you influenced it, then you might play a role in that and might be held with some type of accountability for that. Let's be clear. Hold on. Somebody's in the comment section. Shout out to Anthony Bennett in the comment section. That part. What's going on, Chant? Women is poison for that act. Shout out to Tory for his silence. Dog about to get paid. That part. Yes. It looks to be if Tory gets justice. I'm pretty sure that things are highlighted now, and there's some urgency there. There's some concern there, definitely heightened concern now. I believe things are going to get addressed. It's inevitable. Now, Tory getting paid. Okay. I'm not sure about that, but he definitely would be looking into those options. I can't agree. All right. Nonetheless, let's continue to listen to some more of the audio here. All right. Shout out to Anthony Bennett. That part.
It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense? Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr.
All right. So you guys see the lawyer. I don't know what representative he represents. Tory Lanez. He had a bunch of representatives. People speaking up that speaking up for him and just giving great speeches. It looked like, you know, these people are standing on behalf of Tory, and they're questioning the Constitution and where we going with things. Just a great movement, right? Great campaign for Tory Lanez. Clap it up for Tory Lanez's let's clap it up for Tory Lanez's his council, right? Clap it up for Tory Lanez's council. Clap it up for Tory Lanez's council. And with that being said, great representative. You guys see the DNA. They spoke about actually the gunpowder resin, right? Only Tory was tested. There was other people. The driver wasn't tested. Miss Harris, I presume that's Kelsey or Megan. I don't know Megan's last name. Megan wasn't. I don't know if Megan was tested, but it's looking like only Tory was tested. That's a big red flag, right? I'm hearing about serial numbers being unable to being determined, scratched out, defaced. I don't know, right? But nonetheless, there's a lot of things that took place that wasn't the natural order of operations when you're dealing with a case such as this. All right. Big shout out to Manifest Future. You think he coming home soon? I think there's a big possibility that Tory may come home. That's a great question. Great question. Big shout out to Manifest Future. All right, that part. Great question, brother. I'm gonna tell you like this. Obviously, it's a great possibility. The probability is definitely greater than ever before. I will admit that. The urgency, the case will be addressed. The degree of which he was prosecuted, and the end results of him getting 10 years, I definitely believe like that's gonna get cut down. He obviously was not the shooter. So now with this coming out, did he deserve 10 years? Keep in mind they're saying that Tory, I would believe, has done 2 years already. If Tory has completed 2 years, went through all that turmoil, being stabbed 14 times, 2 times in the back of the head, 1 time inside the face, 2 collapsed lungs, I would think that Tory served, did his time, served his debt to Megan, to society, for partaking or having anything to do with that situation. Now, the thing is, Tory was sentenced to 10 years. I don't think it warrants 10 years for somebody that actually was not the shooter. It's not like Kelsey was a hitman for hire. He did not force Kelsey to shoot at Megan Thee Stallion. I understand the dance, bitch dance. I get it. Hold up. Dance, bitch dance. I get it. A lot of that added insult to injury for Tory. But did it warrant 10 years? I think we all know the answer to that. Tory Lanez deserves to come home now. Yeah, Tory deserves to come home now. I think he paid his debt to society. Even to the women that took Meg Thee Stallion's side. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Women do have to stick together. I had to think about that the other day. They're the weaker vessel. They have to stick together. But I think Tory Lanez has served his time. See, this is the thing. I'm a firm believer in you get what you deserve a lot of times, especially certain treatment. You know, we go through certain things, but some people get the worst of the worst through certain circumstances in life. You can have the same case, but it's not what you do, but how you do it. And you get the lesser consequences. You get the lesser penalties because of how you did it. Sometimes you do things in a malicious way and you get a harsher penalty. I don't think that Most High would have had. I don't think Tory would be locked up if he had nothing to do with this. I'm gonna be honest with you. Please don't shoot the messenger. That part. I don't think Everybody, please hit the like button. All right, let's take the opportunity to hit the like button right now. All right, wipe your feet on the rug. Go ahead and hit the like button. So you two can recommend this and push it forward. But nonetheless, I don't think that Tory would be doing the time that he did. I don't think Tory would have got stabbed 14 times, 2 lungs collapsing, twice in the back of the head, 1 in the face, all through the torso, couple centimeters from his heart. Tory almost lost his life. Tory Lanez. Remember all the stuff that was happening to Tory Lanez prior to him getting locked up? Tory Lanez was doing a lot of shit out here. He was active. And I'm not judging him because I'm a man. I have my own shit going on. I'm not judging him. But I'm just trying to show you Tory's track record. I don't think Tory would have faced what he's facing right now if he had nothing to do with this. I'm a firm believer in karma. Yes, I'm a firm believer in karma. If it don't fall on you, it'll fall on your kids. Somebody subsequently is going to be subjected to your judgment. Somebody got to pay the piper. Man, shout out to, I'm about to say shout out to R. Kelly, man. Sad. R. Kelly dropped a new album. We got to talk about R. Kelly and this crazy album he's dropping. This is going over people's heads right now. Right now, the Diddy and the Cassie thing is popping. This is going over people's head. The Tory thing is popping. It's going over people's head. The R. Kelly album. We'll talk about it. But I believe, back to what we were talking about, I believe that Tory deserves some of this. I believe in karma. I think if Tory had nothing to do with this, he wouldn't be experiencing and going through and be subjected to some of this treatment that he is. To be quite honest with you, I'm a firm believer in that and karma. I know some people slightly slip through the cracks, but sometimes your kids, like I said, your kids can be affected by what you do out here. But nonetheless, I think Tory Lanez has paid his debt to society. So I think Tory's ready to come home. I think even more so, what you guys think? Y'all think Megan Thee Stallion is satisfied now? Do y'all think Megan is satisfied now? I know Megan wanted some type of justice, right? Tory being incarcerated was partially justice, but I know Megan wanted some justice for Tory even condoning somebody shooting at her, allegedly. For Tory applauding somebody shooting at her, allegedly. For Tory saying, dance, bitch, dance. That part. Allegedly. I know Megan wanted some get back. I know Megan feels kind of like satisfied right now that happened to Tory. Please don't shoot the messenger. L.O.T.S Approved Media, the most dangerous podcast on God's green earth. Let's be clear. I think Megan feels like she got her get back. Megan must be sleeping at peace right now. I know she probably was startled by the situation. I know it caught her off guard. I'm not saying that she's wallowing in it and she's just enjoying herself and celebrating. No, it could have had a different effect. Maybe she was so surprised that she was stunned and realized that she partook in some shit and she kind of aggravated the situation too. Because let's be clear, Megan did aggravate the situation too. Did she deserve to get shot at? No. But she played a role in it. So she must have some conflicting feelings about Tory getting almost unalived. I would believe so. If she has a spirit, if she's human. Manifest Future, what up, champ? What you saying here? Why the lock up Chris Brown when he said free Tory? Wow. Yes, Chris Brown. And I heard Chris Brown name got brought up in the Diddy trial with Cassie. I think we'll talk about that another day, right? Yeah. Chris Brown locked up, definitely, man. Some shit that happened. He's locked up in Europe. Chris Brown right now is locked up in Europe. Wow. You got to pull us some information on that. Chris Brown locked up in Europe. We got to pull us some information about that. Nonetheless, Megan must feel like she has to feel satisfied. Whatever chip she had on her shoulder, she must be alleviated of that chip. They said revenge is like the sweetest joy next to getting pussy. You heard me. Pun intended. Tory's getting pussy. Yeah, Megan must feel satisfied, man. So we'll see you guys. We're gonna keep everybody update. Things I'm pretty sure gonna unveil. Hopefully, Tory does get his justice. They're trying to talk to the California mayor to have him pardoned. Tory's father said to Donald Trump, I know you have a busy schedule, but Tory's father is asking Donald Trump to take some time out of his busy schedule to address this about his son. All right. Tory has a lot of great people on his behalf. He has the umbrella. Tory has a great support, not just his family and his legal support. His dad, he has a lot of support and fans for Tory. Everybody knows Tory did not shoot Megan Thee Stallion. Tory did not deserve to do 10 years. All right? In the court of law. But you guys know what's superior to the court of law? God, the Bible. All right? Who God bless, no man can curse. God put you in situations, right? You be up against a lot of shit. L.O.T.S prove me. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. That part is the most dangerous podcast on God's green earth. Let's reset the building. I am the incomparable, the author, imitator, but cannot be duplicated. The one they took their style from, the elected, appointed voice of the streets. I go by them L.O.T.S to prove you guys. That's the acronym. That part. It stands for the Lord of the streets. That part. It stands for the leader of the streets. That part. It stands for learning off the streets. That part. Living off the streets. When I say living off the streets, I'm referring to eating off the land. We hustle, so we eat what we kill here. All right, that part is powered by L.O.T.S Proof Media. I want to welcome everybody to Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast, episode number 122. That part. Now, let's talk about Diddy and Cassie. Dun, 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 dun. Listen, man. This whole Diddy and Cassie case. First of all, you guys seen online Diddy with the gray hair. Yeah, we spoke about the Tory. Diddy with Cassie. A lot of information coming out. Diddy full head of gray hair. Ain't no Beijing, ain't no Beijing, no dye in there. All right. Diddy looked aged. Nonetheless, the trial has begun. There's a lot of details in this trial, a lot of cringing factors. This is a freak show, a freak off. All right. A lot of details. Cassie taking a stand, being cross-examined. Cassie with some conflicting information. Cassie giving stories in details as to the escapades, the freak-offs, and what was taking place. What role that she played in it versus what role did Puff play in it. How did they go about acquiring certain things? And then how did they navigate through this whole thing? First of all, the escorts. Cassie was hiring a lot of escorts. All right. You guys make sure you guys hit that like button, right? We talking about the Cassie and Diddy right now. We got to speak about this. This is the time. Let's be clear. This is what we was all waiting for. We all was waiting to hear what was actually happening between Cassie and Diddy. I'm gonna say this first of all. This case, this racketeering, all these things, the trafficking, all that. It's not adding up to that. It's not surmounting to that, right? So looking like Diddy is gonna beat a lot of charges. They already offered Diddy 15 years. Let's be clear. 15 years. If they're offering Diddy 15 years and looking like, I don't think that they had enough to take Diddy down and give, because it's supposed to be football numbers, right? I'm not saying 15 years is low, but 15 years in comparison to what I be hearing, the 45 and the 50 and this, that, and the third, and this charge hold this charge hold that. I don't see that with Diddy. According to reports, they offered Diddy, the feds offered Diddy 15 years. All right? Racketeering, we don't see that. Not the racketeering, but we don't see all these other claims. Now, these things are unveiling, and we'll speak about that, the things that could change and change the trajectory of the case. But how the case is looking right now, it's not looking like all those charges that they brought on Diddy. We don't really see the trafficking. Forcing Cassie, it doesn't look like Diddy forced Cassie per se every time. Cassie gave a lot of admittance, all right? Cassie, this is very surprising because Cassie is so transparent in this case. I was surprised. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't expect that. I don't know if Cassie's feeling remorseful, but Cassie's holding some accountability to what took place. All right. For one, Cassie is the one that reached out to the escorts. Now, mind you, this is by Diddy's request, but nonetheless, Diddy was smart enough to not be the one that was out there he was selecting, but he wasn't putting his face on Front Street and actually calling these people. It was Cassie. Cassie, it's made to look like Cassie was the orchestrator, right? But you know how the puppet is, right? You got the puppet on the string, and there's actually somebody in the cut navigating the puppet. It's supposed to be Diddy. Nonetheless, Diddy made it so he's not. There's no connection to him and actually contacting these escorts. Now, the escorts gave some graphic detail as to what took place. All right, and there's a reason why I kind of slowed down there. Listen, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the most dangerous podcast on God's green earth, DSTM, episode number 122. First of all, this is crazy. We don't speak about this part. All right. Escorts spoke about Cassie requesting for him to pee in her mouth. Cassie, according to the escort, Cassie requested him to pee in her mouth, right? To urinate. It's not coming from Diddy per se verbally. Not to say that Diddy didn't plant that in her head or requested that, and he probably told her prior to her actually having this engagement. But Cassie, let's be clear, Cassie's taking accountability for a lot of things that took place. Cassie was requesting to get urinated. We have to repeat that, right? The sperm. Listen, the sperm. Nutting and Cassie having sperm and wiping it on Diddy's nipples. Let's be clear. Listen, I didn't even expect to even be speaking about this, but we have to be grown about this, right? God, listen, Diddy was a freak. This is what this case is proving. This case is proving that Diddy is a super freak. He plays both. He's on both sides of the fence. He's dealing with the women. He's dealing with the men. He's very disgusting. He's into all type of fetishes. Urine, sperm, nipples, playing nipples. It was said that Diddy would sit in the cut and watch these men have their way with Cassie through Cassie's request, following the checking off the list, urination in the mouth, whoop-de-whoop. Diddy was sitting in the cut like a boss, sitting in the cut watching. What they call that, a cuck? Diddy sits in the cut. He's observing. That's how Diddy gets off. I'm pretty sure he got the finest lotion, or I don't know what those people use. I don't even know about those type of stuff, to be honest. I don't use jelly, KY. That's any chick I deal with. I'm very natural. I don't use none of that stuff, right? Nonetheless, he's in the cut. Now they're saying that Diddy would be having a bandana around his mouth. All right, covering his face. I would presume his nose, half his face, where you would not be able to take a picture of him or determine that that's Diddy observing you. Diddy has this red bandana. I don't know if I thought Diddy was with the Crips and with the Keefy D and the Crips in Orlando, and I thought that was the case, but he chose red, a red ensemble. Diddy got the red bandana across his face while he's watching the man have his way with his lady at the time. Now, that just proves that Diddy's a freak. Cassie proved that she also was partaking in the festivities and requesting certain things. And if you look at what she was saying, she initiated certain things also. Cassie also said that she was in love with Diddy. They asked Cassie, why did you not stop? Cassie was saying that she felt like if she did not comply with Diddy, Diddy would just go do it with another woman. Cassie revealed that she used to be jealous of Diddy. jealous about other women, not of him, but jealous of women, other women being with Diddy. Cassie said she was in love with Diddy. This doesn't sound like somebody that was forced to do anything, to be quite honest with you. Not at all. Cassie also said that Diddy actually asked Cassie, do you want to stop doing this? He actually asked her, as if he was given an opportunity to decline. But according to Cassie, she said she did not want to disappoint him because she thought he would do it with another woman. They also asked Cassie, and Cassie revealed that she enjoyed some of this, right? There's a lot of text messages with Cassie and Diddy, these text messages that was being revealed. A lot of text messages. Very conflicting. You got to look at the timeline of things. I know about the human psyche, right? They probably say there was times that they was doing good, they was vibing, and then there was them times, them intense times with Diddy allegedly took advantage of Cassie, because Cassie talked about Diddy taking the pussy. She spoke about Diddy. They speaking about Diddy blowing up Kid Cudi's car, in which Kid Cudi admitted that Diddy blew up his car, blew up his vehicle. That part. But that's not that's not trafficking, sex trafficking. That's not some of the stuff that they're referring to. In this case, what they're charging Diddy with. Cassie's taking a lot of responsibility for a lot of things. Cassie's revealing that she actually was in love with Diddy. She used to be jealous of Diddy with other women. That's why she complied with Diddy. Diddy gave her the opportunity to leave, in which she declined that offer, and she just remained with Diddy. She said Diddy made her feel good. I'm paraphrasing with that one. But obviously she enjoyed Diddy's company, and it wasn't all bad times, you guys. Diddy signed Cassie to a 10-album deal. Power influence. What they're trying to say is that Diddy used his power of influence to take advantage of Cassie. I'm not sure of that. A lot of drugs being taken. A lot of drugs being taken between Diddy and Cassie. Cassie also said that Diddy is addicted to ecstasy. A lot of she said Diddy did drugs a lot. I think that's consistent throughout this whole case too. A lot of drugs. So I'm not seeing so much sex trafficking. I'm seeing a lot of drug abuse. I'm seeing a lot of domestic violence. Yes, I see that. But I don't see what he's being charged for per se. I'm seeing the drug abuse. I'm seeing the recklessness, right? Facilitating certain things. The crazy parties. Yeah, we all know. Yeah, we understand Diddy facilitated a lot of things. But Diddy didn't necessarily force anybody to do anything, right? It's looking like they might have to bring other charges up on Diddy as opposed to what they just brought Diddy. I think, to be honest with you guys, I think Diddy's going to get off on some of these charges. And I believe that the feds are not going to be happy with them fumbling this case. All right? Hold on. That part. Let's make this clear. They're not going to be happy with fumbling this case. All right, let me get a little closer. They're not going to be happy with fumbling this case. All right? What they're going to do is, I believe that they're going to up it, right? They're going to look for other things. That's why they're looking into the murder of Tupac Shakur. That's why they're talking about blowing up Kid Cudi's car. They're trying to figure out Diddy unaliving people. I see that nigga Pierce Morgan was with CC, a big homie CC Pierce Morgan. They're alluding to Diddy unaliving people. People being poisoned. Everybody coincidentally coming up with ammonia. People that have a track record of that was associated with Diddy, that know him very well, and that would believe have information on Diddy that the public is not privy to, nor maybe some friends. And these people being so close to Diddy are suffering the same results, ammonia. Pierce Morgan spoke about Jamie Foxx. You guys, they're saying that Diddy's responsible for poisoning Jamie Foxx. And Jamie Foxx, I don't know if he had an aneurysm, what happened to Jamie Foxx, but remember when Jamie was sick? I think there's a recording audio allegedly of Jamie saying that, referring to Diddy as the devil. Something that somebody passed Jamie a drink, and as a result, this is what happened, allegedly. Well, this is what they're trying to correlate. This is what they're trying to group in with Diddy right now. Like I said, the sex trafficking thing is a wrap. I think Cassie kind of freed up Diddy a little bit with taking accountability. And I know ultimately Cassie looks like she doesn't really want to put Diddy in jail per se, but she did want some justice. Cassie feels like Diddy basically dish-ragged her. Diddy had his way with her, treated her like an object, a sex object, and discarded her. And she wanted some compensation. She spent 10 years with Diddy. So I think Cassie really just wanted some compensation for running her body down, her spirit, spiritually and physically. She ran herself down. She ran her reputation. She sacrificed her reputation. She sacrificed her body. She sacrificed her spirit. And Cassie wanted to be compensated for that. I think Cassie bit off a little bit more than she actually could chew. I don't think that Cassie intentionally wants to see Diddy do all that time, to be quite honest with you, judging by the testimony that she's been giving. Cassie expresses that she had love for Diddy. She didn't want Diddy to be with no other woman. She enjoyed her times with Diddy. It wasn't all bad times. Cassie indulged in a lot of those activities and requested for men to urinate in her mouth and whoop-de-woo. Cassie was contacting the escorts. No matter what if Diddy asked her to, Cassie was executing it. All right, all the time. Cassie also said that she enjoyed it and she was always ready for another freak off. They had some text messages. Let's be clear. Cassie enjoyed the freak off sometimes. She said she was looking forward to it. Now, mind you, we talking about the human psyche, so it's not as simple as that. We can't look at it as black and white, but I'm just making you guys just take certain things into consideration before you guys condemn anybody or choose a horse in this race. Now, we on the side of justice. Nah, Diddy shouldn't have did none of that to Cassie. Let's be clear. That part. Diddy deserves some type of prosecution. Diddy needs to be held accountable for a lot of his fuck shit. That part. But let's not it's not abuse the system, because some of us at home remember this. It's not just Diddy that gets put in these situations. There's other men that are more innocent than Diddy that get placed in situations like this also. So we can't just abuse the system. And just because we don't like Diddy, we just start throwing frivolous charges on Diddy. Cassie was down with a lot of the escapades. She initiated a lot of things. She enjoyed a lot of it. Now, the human psyche, some would say maybe it just through Puff's influence and manipulation, she was conditioned to love it. She was conditioned to love it. But that's like saying you introduce somebody to drugs. That's like me smoking some marijuana with you. Now, forgive me if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. That's like me smoking. That's like you never smoked marijuana before, and I smoked some marijuana with you once or twice, and you hold me accountable for everything that is associated with you and marijuana, whether you're addicted to it. And you know, when you smoke weed, sometimes you neglect some of your duties, and you're not handling your obligations, and you look back in retrospect, and you place all the blame on me because I introduced you to marijuana. It don't just go like that. You still have the will. You have will. God gave all of us. That's our God-given right. Even angels don't have that. We have free will. There's a reason why God gave us free will. All right? Let's utilize it, and let's make the right choices. But nonetheless, yes, Cassie initiated a lot of the escapades, sexcapades. If you will. All right. Yeah, man. The trial is I think Chris Brown's name was brought up during the trial, if I'm not sure. And like Manifest Future said, why they locked up Chris Brown when he said free Tory. I'm not sure why they locked up Chris Brown when they said free Tory. I'm not quite sure why. Chris Brown's what the hell I'm doing? I'm being theatrical. Listen, man. Chris Brown got locked up for something that he did. He hit somebody over the head with a bottle in London, in Europe. Something happened with a producer, and he hit the producer over the head with a bottle. I don't know if it was a Hennessy bottle, preferably. You know what I mean? But Chris tapped that boy in the head with the bottle. So I guess when he returned, they said Chris Brown returned on a private jet flight to England, to Europe, to London, I believe, or wherever in Europe. Correct in the comment section. Chris Brown came in a private jet in which Chris Brown was then held in custody. So Chris Brown is currently incarcerated in Europe, all right, for assault. I don't know what they call it in Europe. Europe got different names, you know what I mean? But over on this side of the pond, all right, it's assault, all right. I forgot what type of assault is that. You know what I mean? Aggravated assault, right? Yeah, with a weapon. Is that a deadly weapon? I'm not sure. Nonetheless, free Chris Brown, you guys. Free Chris Brown. Chris Brown's currently incarcerated, all right, for something that happened years ago. This is not even something recent. I just caught up to him. So we were speaking about Tory Lanez. We just were speaking about with Diddy. I don't know if there's anything else to say about the case. You guys, we listened to the audio. You know, I wanted to play some of the audio from Tory's father speaking. Maybe we'll do that on another video, another episode. All right, maybe tomorrow, depending on how I feel. Nonetheless, Diddy is looking like definitely he's going to shake some of them charges. Let's be clear. All right, to sum up the Diddy, to bring that to a conclusion, Diddy's going to beat a lot of those charges. Contrary to whatever you guys think, he's going to beat a lot of them charges. Is he going to beat all of them? I don't think so. I think that they're going to bring up other charges. They're going to look for other things to charge Diddy with. That's not going to have nothing to do with sex trafficking, right? Because once again, the feds are not going to be comfortable with Diddy beating his case, right? They're going to have to they got to throw something at the wall and see what sticks. You know what I mean? With the feds, usually it sticks, 98% of the time? Ain't that a conviction rate for a Fed case? All right. Yeah. Shout out to I ain't shout out nobody on that one. I would be saying shout out. Shout out nobody. Shout out to Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez, speedy recovery. All right. I'm gonna let you guys know what's going on with Tory Lanez and everything that unveils in reference to him getting justice and them releasing Tory or giving him a court date. But nonetheless, let's be real. Tory Lanez has done his time. He served his debt to society. Tory has served his debt to society. I think it's safe to say that you have got your get back, all right? I'm not alluding to saying that you had something to do with it. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But what I am saying is, I know you had a feeling that you wanted some type of get back. Trust me. That's the reason why you relentlessly you relentlessly got this man prosecuted. Right? That's the reason why you did it. Was you had so much vengeance behind it. I know you're a woman. You had to make it look like you was a victim, but that's part of your deception, right? I'm not mad at that. But I think Tory has served his time now. I think Tory has served his debt. Meg, I know that chip has come off your shoulder at this time, right? You must feel at peace now. 2 lungs collapsed. Stabbed twice in the back of the head, once in the jaw. A blade coming near his heart, damn near on the edge of losing his life, literally. Centimeters from his heart, throughout his torso. That must be gratifying in an unfortunate way. Unfortunately, that's gratifying. Let's be honest. If somebody shot at you, I would think that you would want some type of justice and some type of aggression beyond that. All right. Nonetheless, Meg, Tory, he served his debt. Tory did 2 years in prison. I think he's been locked up for about 2 years now. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Sometimes I am wrong. Stabbed 14 times. Career on pause, even though he is dropping projects, and we love the projects that Tory's dropping. But nonetheless, Tory, it looks like he served his debt to society, I would think. And Meg, though he shot at you, he didn't shoot at you, excuse me. Though Kelsey shot at you, let's be clear. Allegedly, Kelsey shot at you. That's what the bodyguard's saying. Bullet fragments, according to reports, bullet fragments entered your body, entered your foot. in reference to eye for an eye. You remember the Bible's about eye for an eye, right? You take my eye, take your eye. In theory, right? But we all get what they're referring to, what they're trying to say. But this wasn't a case of eye for an eye. This was an eye for a leg. This was a finger for a leg, a finger for an arm. It wasn't even equal. But at the same time, I don't think it was supposed to be equal. This was a man versus a woman. And the role that men play in society, woo, you guys know I don't want to go too much deep into that because that's a rabbit hole. All right. Nonetheless, Tory has served his debt. All right. Let's get Tory free, you guys. They're doing a petition for Tory Lanez. You guys get a chance online. Go ahead and fill out that petition for Tory Lanez's release. All right. That part. L.O.T.S Proof Media, DSTM, Don't Shoot the Message, the most dangerous podcast on God's green earth. You guys are now rocking with Public Enemy #1. I'm considered the top op. That part. L.O.T.S Proof Media. All right. The Lord of the streets, leader of the streets. We about to bring this to a conclusion. You heard me. Benzino and 50. Just to end off on that. Supposed to have Benzino on the platform. I fucked up yesterday. Time messed up with the timing. Punctuality is business, and I have to learn that in business, you got to be punctual. Benzino was supposed to come on the platform yesterday. He was on the platform and all, but I was 20 minutes off timing. You heard me? In which subsequently we didn't get the interview done, you guys. And I do apologize. That's a lesson at home, you guys. In business, punctuality. All right, people will stop rocking with you because of punctuality. I'm not saying that's the case with him, with Benzino, but I didn't get the interview complete. Obviously, punctuality, man. We was gonna talk about Benzino with 50 Cent. I don't know, Benzino dropping a diss track on 50. You heard? You guys see what's going on with Benzino online in reference to his nephew, and they're speaking about how Benzino took the stand on his nephew and pointed him out and said that he's responsible for shooting him at his mother's funeral. Benzino had a funeral, passed away, rest in peace, in which he was shot subsequently, allegedly by his nephew, according to reports, according to court documents. All right, he was charged with it. Now, they're saying that Benzino didn't necessarily snitch. Benzino is saying that he necessarily did not snitch. Reports are saying that Benzino snitched. Consensus is saying that Benzino snitched. His contemporaries, his peers are leaning towards Benzino telling. Benzino seems to think otherwise. Contrary to popular belief, Benzino said he did not tell. Benzino said that though he told on audio, this is the conflicting part. He did tell, but not necessarily told. Benzino said he told on audio, but he didn't tell when it came to taking the stand. And according to Benzino, Mr. Boston, Source Magazine, Benzino, Love and Hip Hop Benzino, 57 years old, Benzino, look like, might be true. I don't know. Listen, Zeno says that the audio part, that's not official. According to Benzino, when you do the audio part, confession part, that doesn't hold. It's not substantial in the court of law. You have to take the stand, and that's the official telling. That's what Benzino's saying. Now, Benzino has a history in Miami, so I want to speak about Benzino and the history of Miami. I'm not here to condemn Benzino. A lot of people appreciate Benzino and hold him in certain regards. Not necessarily high regards, but they have a lot of good things to say about Benzino streetwise. I haven't heard nobody in the streets really dirty Benzino's name, but for some reason on the internet is a contrast of opinion. It's different. Benzino on the streets versus Benzino on the internet. That's two different perceptions, two different interpretations. All right, and I want to expound on that. But nonetheless, Benzino saying that back to what I was saying. Benzino saying that he didn't snitch, and he's saying when he went on the stand, that's official. And on the stand, he did not say that he snitched on his nephew on the stand. So that's why you can't hold him accountable for saying that his nephew his nephew shot him in the audio. There's audio of him saying his nephew shot him. But he's saying when he took the stand, he did not admit to his nephew shooting him. He said, in that moment, that instant, when you take the stand, that's when it counts. All the other stuff do not count, according to Benzino. All right. And a lot of people seem to think otherwise. Benzino's been seen on a lot of different platforms. Yeah, and they're getting at the kid. And like I said, I want to get Benzino on the platform, so we'll see. All right. Once again, L.O.T.S approved media. Don't shoot the message. DSTM, the most dangerous podcast on God's green earth. Remember, I told you that we speak things into existence. All right. Most author imitated, but cannot be duplicated. The incomparable. Remember what I told you. All right. This is the time where we play some outro music. You guys, I want you guys to enjoy the weekend. First of all, there's an interview coming. Look forward to. I want to have Gino on the platform. One of the best tattoo artists. This is Rick Ross, tattoo artist, Nas, tattoo artist, Serena Williams, tattoo artist, celebrity top tattoo artist, Gino. I'm gonna introduce you guys to Gino. Very interesting, eclectic, brilliant brother. All right. Now, you guys enjoy yourself this weekend. Nobody's promised tomorrow, like I always say. Hopefully I'll see you guys on Monday, or I might even go on Sunday. Who knows? But nonetheless, you guys enjoy your weekend. And if God permit, I'll see you guys on Sunday or Monday. All right. That being said, last but not least, I always do this. First of all, rest in peace to Planet Goddamn and my co-host, man. And I haven't said that in a couple episodes, and I've been slipping. All right, rest in peace to Planet Goddamn. He's the one that helped me with this platform, with the first launching of this platform. This is my brother, Dwight Lang. All right, rest in peace to Dwight Lang, my brother. Last but not least, you guys, failure and discouragement are the stepping stones to success. All right, I'm ending off with this. This is it. This is it. I promise you. Failure and discouragement are the stepping stones to success. All right. So you guys keep in mind that throughout your journeys, trying to get to your goals, you're going to experience discouragement. You're going to experience failure, right? But that's part of the journey. It comes with the territory. You have to be able to endure that. Those are growing pains, right? So remember, failure and discouragement are the stepping stones to success. That's how you get to success. Last but not least, the highest mountain has the best view. I don't care how steep your situation, how crazy your situation is, the highest mountain has the best view. The greater your accomplishment, we dream big here. We have big goals. My goals scare people, and I intend them to. I don't think small. But there's a math in that. There's a wisdom in that. Dream big, aim for the stars, land amongst the moon, right? You can aim for the stars, and worst case scenario, you land on the moon. Either way, I was aiming high. So even when I fall, I'm still going to fall in a high position in accomplishments-wise, all right? So the highest mountain has the best view. With that being said, let's play some outro music. L.O.T.S approved media. DSTM. That part. That part. All right now, y'all.